Hello Tubesters, it's me Gav and we've got another video. Why? Because I like making videos. And I've had this come through yesterday. It took about a month probably, but it got here. I wasn't in no rush. This is the Italian World War II heavy cruiser Pola. It says on the side here it was named after a town or city called Pola in Italy. I must confess I hadn't heard of said city or town, but I do now. It's a HobbyBoss kit. I thought it was, when I looked on when I was going to buy it, I thought it was the usual trumpeter type thing, but it wasn't. It's HobbyBoss. I only got this, as you know, let me just put this one down for a moment. I am building, which there will be an update later on in the week, this. I've got to be a bit gingy because there's loose stuff in the box. My Type 23 frigate, which is a trumpeter build, again 1 in 350 scale. That cost me close to £40 second hand, which is why the box is fairly bust up, because I bought it used off eBay, although everything was in the bags and that. I do like the modern ones, I must admit. I'm quite happy to build World War II or Great Warships as well, but I do like the modern warships. Always have done. But this, let's hold this up again. Terrible artwork on this. I mean, I think that's supposed to be a mountain range at the back, not some type of tidal wave coming up fast from the side. But yeah, this was £16 new. And it did cost me about £6 or £7 in delivery. I bought it from I don't know if it's anywhere else around the world, but it's called Wish. It just came up on the shopping. I was actually looking at 1 in 350 scale, looking at the more Type 23s and other ships out there, and I thought this can't be right, £16. But it seems to be. At first, I thought I was just getting a really good deal from one company, and I didn't realise this Wish actually. Is like a front for, and I don't mean it in a legal sense. I just mean, it's, I don't know that whether it sources the kit. I've no idea. But in the end, it came from China, and it did take about a month. But as I say, I wasn't in any major rush. It got here when it got here. This isn't a build for any time soon. It was £16. And it will need some upgrading. I definitely think. So it is one. I mean, it's quite a big box this actually, just because of the hull. I can't see me building it this side of Christmas anytime soon. But it's for £16. It was one of these. Yes, I know I pay the delivery as well, but it was worth investing in. You'll have to do a bit of work to it. I've looked online, there's different things that you'll probably need to do. But I thought we'd take a quick look. There isn't a lot to it. So join me at the bench, guys. Right, guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. We've seem to have the same problem that we had with the Type 23 HMS Kent the other video. I've got just a normal, like a video stroke photographic tripod, which works very well for doing the painting videos. I don't have to have one of these homemade rigs above me workbench, which I really can't. There's just not enough space to do that as well. So I always film, if I've got to do any overhead, I film off one of these, just get them off eBay, about £15, £20. These cheap large tripods. But obviously the ship's fairly decent size. So I just want to show the unlike a trumpeter box where you'll have all the dividers, and bits of foam. HobbyBoss obviously don't go down that road. And the kit dates. I don't know how old the kit itself is, but it dates from, I think, 2009. It's a one-piece hull, which I'm really chuffed off, because for me I saw a Tirpitz from Revell. But I believe that's 2 halves, and I just think, oh, that's for me with seams. It's going to look like it's got a half to it. So yeah, so there literally is one hull, which we try and get. I don't even know how I'm going to get that in shot really, and another bag with 2 sprues in and a third bag with the deck areas. So join me in a bit and we'll try somehow at least to have a look at the sprues. Now this really is annoying when you want to show a ship off and you can't get it in blooming view. I'll have to work something out with this, guys, for whenever I do another one like this, because this ridiculous, you can't show like, oh, this bit here. But anyway, this is the hull. You can see there's the bottom's going to need a real bit of clean up on it. We've got a big infill section here, and I'm not sure if I doubt very much whether that's supposed to be on the real ship. So I've got a feeling that's going to have to be cleaned off as well. I have heard talk that the bow isn't pointed enough. It should go in slightly. I don't know if I've got the courage yet to have a go on that. As I say, it will be at least 6 months probably before I have a tackle on this. You can see quite often you'll get oval portholes I've been discovering on ships, just because of the way it's moulded and whatever. So they probably need cleaning out, and there's usually like an eyebrow over the top to stop the water, or to move the water away, so probably have to add those on and drill those out. Sorry for the glare. As I say, I would say it's a fairly rough put together hull from looking at it. I mean, I'm not even sure, I doubt very much whether that's supposed to be on there in real life. As I say, it's a model, and you've got to, like all models, you've got to do either a lot or a little to a kit to make it come to life. But I do think, you know, if I was to spend, I don't know, 80 quid on this, you might say, oh, well, that should have been a bit better than that. But for 16 quid, no way am I complaining. It's like I'm having fun with the Type 23 at the moment, doing lots of little scratch building on a radar mast. Although it wasn't so much fun last night, keep dropping things, but I'm just adding bits and pieces. So something like this, you know, it's just something to work on. It's, you know, it gives you a good base to start, you know, and then you go to town on how much or as little as you want, really. These obviously are our deck pieces. It's got wooden deck where it shows it on the ship itself. They've got raised, appears to be raised planking. I mean, you can go to town on these with wooden decks. You wouldn't have to need a lot for this, actually. As you can see, you just have this stern section here on the aft, and where the aft gun is, and then this part here, which sits higher off the deck, and it's obviously got a wooden piece there. I mean, it's not great, the wood. I've decided I'd definitely get brass barrels with this, brass railings and stuff. So we'll just see. As I say, there's no massive push to get this one done. I'd like that modern German frigate, the Saxon class. I wouldn't mind getting that when TACOM bring it out in the next month or two. Little stand, if you want to use it. Again, it's a bit bendy and whatever. I'd probably though maybe try and work out how people do this with the brass fittings underneath, you know, and put it to a piece of wood maybe. But as I say, for 16 quid, it's an entry into a 1 in 350 class, and there's lots of people selling these at the moment. So if any of you guys want to have a go at a 1/350 scale ship, but bulk at the price, you know, spending 50, 70, 80 quid and then having to spend more on extra brass bits and things, then maybe think of getting this. Right, these are just the only 2 sprues that have got really anything on. There's one piece loose in the bag here, so I'm going to be careful. We've got our turrets. The gaps on the side there, I think they're fume extractors to get the cordite out the turret, I believe. Already I can see obviously I've been looking at a lot of pictures of the Zara class. They're all slightly different to a degree, but what isn't different is there should be some holes, I believe, for the optics of the guns, for sighting. They should be in the front there, and obviously there's no blast bags. You'd have to make those yourself. Barrels are fairly mediocre, to be honest with you. There's no holes in the end. It's an older kit, you know. As I say, keep going back to 16 quid. I wasn't expecting a huge lot, you know what I mean. You know, it's good enough for me, because I want to do what I'm doing with the Type 23 HMS Kent. I'm trying to add lots of, you know, to make, what can I say, to make more out of the kit than's there, if that makes sense. You can have, I can't afford huge Pontos type things with, you know, £100 odd, £50 worth of stuff for different ships. So I try and get as much basic as I can in brass, like rain, in stuff that I'd really struggle trying to make myself, and then just try and add bits onto myself. So these turrets would have these optic holes, as I'm calling them, drilled out. These turrets here for the secondary armament, they've got different handle climbing up pieces on there, and rivet details and stuff, and I could try and make some of that myself. I'm not promising it's like HMS Kent. You'll see that soon. I'm not promising it's massively in scale. This is Gav doing it. Barrels for the 4-inch or 4.5-inch, I think, guns. Again, I'd probably buy a set, all in brass. Propellers, fairly chunky. We've got different, I believe these are different tripods for the, well, they go onto tripods, they go up for reinforcing, up for the fighting top, and like the armoured control top. We've got tertiary guns here, and again barrels. I'm not sure if you can get extras for those, but we have ship's boats. Let's go around that way. Ship's boats. Again, you know, some detail, but not a huge amount. We've got the ship's boats davits. Anchors appear to have great big chunky sink marks in them, but they're probably not going to be seen because they'll be against the hull of the ship. Got some searchlights. These are our bridge structures. Let's turn around again. Oop. And they've been able to put those in with some better portholes. Got some moulded on ship's ladders. We've got that, I believe, is the derrick for lifting the seaplane on and off. I should say there should be a seaplane on there somewhere. We'll have a look in a minute. We're on here. Funnel detail. The Pola had her funnel. They all had two funnels, but Pola, and I'm not sure about Gorizia, I don't think she did, but the Pola could always be seen as different, as her forward funnel went into the, I'm calling it the bridge structure, you know me, I like ships but without knowing all the complete terminologies. Funnel caps are really chunky, so you know I may put her in deep reserve until I've got money for like a photo etch kit for her. But there's the seaplane. This is, you get one seaplane. I think she carried 2 or 3. Again, fairly chunky. Might need to maybe sand those down if possible. Tiny little propeller. What happens is, and let me just go to the colour call out. Right guys, sorry for the glare. I just wanted to show you the rig up really of the seaplane. As you can see, it's quite a colourful ship. Even during the war, the Italians would have these red and white striped aerial markers on the bow of the ship. This is as you can see, seaplane for reconnaissance and spotting the fall of the shell. Now, you can just about see it under the. Let's see if we can get down a bit. If you're wondering, well, isn't that a dodgy place to put a seaplane? We get them in view, like there. What they actually do is, unlike most nations where they keep them, say, between the funnels. Let's have a look. I'm doing good today, hang on. Right, instead of keeping them between the funnels, they normally have a catapult launcher. Yes, I know some of the American ships had them different as well, but they actually would have them in. They'd have them in this housing here, and the derrick would, I believe, pull them up and then drop them onto the launch ramp to shoot them off. And it's not a great way of doing it. Yeah, your plane gets stowed in the armoured belt, so you're not going to have it blown up or maybe aviation fuel everywhere, but you can't launch them. If you need to launch them quickly, you've got to go the rigmarole, as I said, getting your derrick lifted, putting that together, then lifting them out the hole, then putting them on, then firing them off, whereas a lot of the other countries would just launch them off a steam catapult, off the middle of the ship type of thing, and have the derricks obviously already there, like they would do for lifting the ship's boats. Now, also that's missing in the kit are these yellow life rafts, which again they always kept yellow and red even during the war, whereas again the Brits, our Carly floats tended to be painted out in grey. And there you can see them again on the side. They're quite prominent, so they're going to have to be sourced. So it's a kit that 16 quid will get you a basic ship, and then it's really up to me or you to how much you're going to throw at it to make it look something like. I know that there's a company in New Zealand that do resin ships like Carly floats, and actually I think for the Italian Navy ones as well. And you can actually, I think you can even, no, I don't think you can yet, but you can also get, sometimes you can get resin, guns for them as well. Again, it depends just how much you want to throw at something. I would definitely be investing in brass barrels for the main armament and the secondary armament. I'm definitely going to have to get some Carly float. Well, I call them Carly floats because that's what they were in the Royal Navy. I'd definitely be getting some Carly floats. I did think I might be able to make them up myself with some mesh and some putty. We'll see about that. But yeah, it's again, it's just something, it's I don't mind having a go at scratch building. I'm having fun doing, most nights it's fun, just adding tiny bits to the Type 23 just to make it a bit more busy. Rather than a lot less. I mean, I've got to say on the Type 23 trumpeter, they might be simplified, but they have got a lot of the little different, electrical boxes and things on there. I'm just piping in extra with some, copper wire and stuff, and I'll be doing the same with this, whatever I think I can get away with doing. I'll have a go with. So guys, there you go. That's from HobbyBoss, the 1 in 350 scale Italian heavy cruiser Pola. It'll come along on the channel when it does. It could be 4 months, 6 months, 2 years. I've no idea. Whenever I feel the need to do one. As I say, I got it to put in the stash really just because of the price. I just thought it was a good entry level at that cost. It was a good entry level for me to, if I want to do a World War II ship, it's something to have a go at. I do like this 1/350 scale. I did think about 1/700, but I like this 1/350 scale. I don't have no room for any of it. I mean, the hull for that, the frigate HMS Kent, is about, I've put her inside that hull. She's about a third shorter than the hull of the Pola, which is fair enough. She's a heavy World War II cruiser at the end of the day. Right guys, look after yourselves. I'm actually going to keep the camera on now because I'm going to do the next stage in the beginner painter on the artillery figure from the 1690s. He's going to have his hat and shoes painted next because I've got the camera out and everything up, so I might as well do that. Right, look after yourselves guys, and we'll catch each other as always very soon on another video.